How to play Knull in 6 minutes or less. Bend the knee before the king in black. Knull is the red number king and should be called the Lord of Red. He is a ramp up champ for sure, and once he's ramped, he's good to go. He has 40% degen resistance, making nodes like No Retreat easy to handle. He also has 60% bleed and poison resistance, making him very suicide friendly. Knull has 2 unique debuffs, Corruption, which is passive, and Living Abyss. Corruption is inflicted using his special attacks and pauses all armor break debuffs and converts all indefinite Living Abyss debuffs into armor break debuffs. For each armor up on the opponent, Knull converts this to an armor break, making champs like Red Skull a walk in the park. For each armor break debuff, Knull reduces their combat power rate by 3.25%, maxing at 65%. Bring Silver Surfer, Storm, or OG Thor, and Knull gains 15% attack rating while the opponent is corrupted. Knull's Special 1 inflicts an encroaching corruption for 10 seconds, which when it expires inflicts corruption for another 10 seconds. Knull's Special 2 inflicts 10 armor break debuffs on the opponent for 10 seconds, and Knull's Special 3 inflicts a corruption that lasts for 25 seconds. Now let's talk about Knull's attacks because his Symbiote and Necrosword attacks do different things. Knull's Necrosword attacks are his light and his special 2s. These pause the duration of corruption for 1.25 seconds. If the opponent is corrupted, Knull inflicts an instant bleed, dealing 65% of hit damage as direct damage. Symbiote attacks are Knull's mediums, heavies, and special 1s. These attacks passively gain True Strike, so they can't be evaded or auto-blocked. Peace out, Spideys. Knull has a 75% chance to inflict a Living Abyss debuff, removing 1 armor up buff. If the opponent is corrupted, 3 armor break debuffs are converted into 3 Living Abyss debuffs, and a degen is inflicted on the opponent, and Knull regens 10% of hit damage. Now let's talk about Knull's signature ability, because while it is not necessarily needed, it does add a good bit of utility to him. King in Black inflicts 1 Living Abyss debuff for every 13 sig levels, maxing at 15. When Corruption activates, Knull goes unstoppable and unblockable for 2 seconds. If Corruption is active and his opponent is healing between 10 to 50% health, Knull replaces the regen buff on the opponent with a degen buff. Now, Knull really helps to boost his symbiote teammates by giving them an indestructible if they would be knocked out, granting a fury buff increasing attack by 50% for 10 seconds, and when the indestructible ends, deal 5% of max health as direct damage. Now, bringing Venom, Venom the Duck, Sim Supreme, or Red Goblin with Knull, and Knull will gain a fury every time his opponent is immune to an effect. Think a stun immune and parry. Bring Agent Venom, Anti-Venom, Carnage, or Venom Pool, and Knull will gain an unblockable buff during his special attacks, making those who auto-block, well, null and void. Bring Sentry, Void, or the Hood, and Knull gains an indefinite energized buff when his opponent is suffering from 12 or more armor breaks, increasing his combat power rate by 15% and allowing you to really rapid fire off those specials. So what is the best way to play Knull? Honestly, it all depends upon what you need. Now, me personally, I really like to stack the Corruption by chain throwing special 1s and adding Void to the team for the energized buff to easily gain power, and Sim Supreme to get the fury whenever the opponent is immune to any effect. Now, this really lets the damage roll, and Knull is a ramp up champ, but once he's ramped, the red numbers just fly. Masteries that work best for Knull are, of course, the Suicide Masteries and, well, Willpower. But that is it for how to play Knull in 6 minutes or less. Let me know in the comments below what you think of Knull, how you play Knull, or how you intend to play Knull. Thanks, guys, so much for watching, and enjoy this quick word from Kevin Smith.
Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith, and if you enjoyed the mediocre MCOC video full of scrub gameplay, then show Katy some love by hitting like and subscribe, man. Katy don't ask for much. Katy did ask for this. Katy did. So do like Katy did and bug people and get you to like and subscribe, man. She's doing that MCOC beautifully. Not mediocre. Katy!